Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I am bringing you another subscriber special as I have hit another massive subscriber count as I have over 35,000 subscribers. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, you guys would know that not too long ago I had an over 9,000 subscriber special, and my channel has been growing rapidly over the last few months. But I have two guests today, and one of them is one of my subscribers.
James Krznaric, everybody, back once again to be helping Qaaman, and happy here to be assisting.
Yes, and you guys would know James from doing my sports segments, and I'm joined today by one of my two video partners.
What's going on, everybody? It's Thundershot.
Yes, and we'll be answering many of your questions here today. So without wasting any more time, let's what, James?
Let's get straight into the video.
Yes, let's get straight into this video. So Thundershot, let's start off the first question today by you.
Alright, so the first question today reads, LMAO at What Is Love video. I can't believe someone threw that on here, but it was funny as hell. Could you see any Dragon Ball characters as Vogue vampires? LOL, and this question comes from Majin Soul.
Yes, I noticed Majin Soul asked several questions on here. And can I see any Dragon Ball characters as Vogue vampires? Maybe Vegeta?
That's possible.
Piccolo? Probably Piccolo.
I'm just trying to imagine how much Vegeta would hate Edward as a vampire, but
yeah.
Can you explain the What Is Love portion of this?
Oh, well, basically, there was a subscriber who asked me what is love, and I responded to his question by clicking by posting a link to that song that goes, "What is love? Baby, don't hurt me." I responded with the video, so
much win.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So that's basically where that came from. Alright, so that does it for the first question. James, why don't you take the next one?
I would be happy to. Question number 2. SS4 God, SS Super Saiyan 4 Goku at the end of GT versus Super Saiyan God Goku.
My question to this is, check out my video that I made with Thundershot. Do you guys have any comments to make with this?
It's over on my channel, but it's called Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Super Saiyan God Goku. So that's the topic you'd be getting.
I'm actually going to be, spoiler alert, be doing a video possibly on the actually comparing of the two forms. But it depends on which Goku they're talking about level 4. If they mean end of GT like 100 years later, then that's like, would require a ridiculous amount of assumptions.
I always thought, and I'm going to get a little bit off topic here, but the way I always wanted GT to end, and this isn't necessarily the way it ended obviously, but when Goku flew off on the back of the dragon, I always hoped he would fly off, train the whole time he was growing up again, and that he would become Super Saiyan 5, and Super Saiyan 5 would be like a god pretty much, where he would never die and live forever and all that stuff.
That would be cool.
That's what I always thought or hoped at least happened when I saw Goku ride off into the sunset with the dragon, but that's just me.
I'll just make a quick comment saying that I don't think Goku ever died in GT, and I'll make a theory on that in the future. Alright. How would Dragon Ball Z play out if there were no Dragon Balls? Would the Z Warriors be the same, or would they not rush in as much or take as many risks because there's no way to come back to life? That's actually a very good question. I mean, you gotta factor in all of the things that took place from Dragon Ball. If there were no Dragon Balls, there would be a lot of dead people, and I think the whole series would be screwed considering how many times they used it. Guys, you want to share your thoughts on this?
They abused the Dragon Balls a lot during the end of Dragon Ball and during Dragon Ball Z, and but whenever you stop and think about it, other than a couple of times on Namek, it really wasn't like they used the Earth's Dragon Balls for themselves. It was more or less like the people that were just civilian casualties.
Right, but you also got to factor in the times that they would have wished back Goku, and if without wishing back Goku, that means everybody, including Goku, would stay dead. So, I mean, dating back from Dragon Ball, I mean, imagine the whole King Piccolo arc and all that stuff, so I think that's so serious if there was literally no Dragon Balls, and if there were no Dragon Balls, the show wouldn't be called Dragon Ball Z. Thundershot?
Think about in episode 1 of Dragon Ball, Goku and Bulma go to find the Dragon Balls because he has the 4-star ball and he's trying to find his grandpa, and they want to gather all of them. I mean, that's literally like one of the first things you see in this, so it'd be hard. For the sake of, let's just say, they're talking specifically about Dragon Ball Z, and I know that's not possible to assume that Dragon Ball didn't happen, but just from the beginning of Z on, you would think Raditz would show up, they found a way to kill him, Goku died, and then that's kind of it, right? Because, like, what happens after that? Because Vegeta and Nappa don't want to come to Earth because no Dragon Balls, and then do they just wait for Boo to wake up or for Cell to come out or anything like that? Like, what's the next step?
You're right. I mean, they would have a hard time going in a different direction with that. I mean, the Dragon Balls make a serious impact on the series. I mean, that's what the show's about.
On the show Dragon, yeah.
It's called Dragon Balls for a reason.
Alright, let's move on. James, you want to take this one?
Let's see. Is Goku durable enough to withstand the heat of the sun? I mean, he did get put under lava in his fight with Frieza, and he was a lot weaker back then. I really do want to discuss this one. I'm sure you two remember the fight with Nova Shenron, where Nova Shenron was hotter than the sun. That actually has nothing to do with my analysis. Let's not forget, he had to train to be faster than lightning, and he got struck by lightning even as a kid, and he still survived it. And lightning's as hot as the sun.
I mean, I think Goku could probably put like an aura around himself to shield from it, but I don't think any entity can shield them to withstand the heat of the sun, except for like maybe Nova Shenron or Omega or something like that. I mean, to withstand the sun, that's insane if you think about it.
I know that is incredible to think.
I think he could be in it or at least super close to it for a very, very short amount of time. I don't think that's anything he could like closure through though.
Like maybe 2 to 3 minutes tops, not like 20 to 30 minutes.
In before Superman better than Goku confirms Superman gets energy from sun.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to.
Yeah, we'll get way too off topic, particularly me.
But thank you, Mr. Proto Man 145, for asking that question.
That was a good one.
What if Elder Kai unlocked Goku's potential? I've gotten this question so many times, and not Gohan's. Do you think he would be stronger than Ultimate Gohan? And could he easily killed Super Bull and not toy with him? Well, considering the fact that Goku was pretty strong already as a Super Saiyan 3, if he had his potential unlocked, if it made any difference, he could easily beat him. I don't understand whether or not if he could actually get more power with his potential, because I think Goku fights out to his max potential. I don't think he's a person who has hidden energy the way Gohan or Goten or Trunks do. Guys, what do you think?
We discussed this a bit over on the Ask FM that you and I did not too long ago for my channel for my 20,000, which I was a little late on, albeit, but my 20,000 subscriber upload. But yeah, we had the same thing, and it all came down to, could Goku even get a power boost from that? Because he does. He trains the entire time. How is he not already at his max potential?
Right. I think he already is. Okay. Thundershot, you want to take this one for me?
Hey, Mr. Qaaman, I'm not sure if you have been asked this question before, although I believe it's very likely you have. What do you think is the real legendary Super Saiyan, Bardock, Broly, or Goku? I hope I can get an answer from you and maybe even a video on this topic. Keep up the great work, man. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty simple one. The legendary Super Saiyan was a legendary Super Saiyan that Vegeta was mentioning took place thousands of years ago. I believe it was 1,000 years before, and we don't know anything about him, but it's said that he died because of all the power that consumed him. That's basically all we know. It's not Broly because obviously, you know, you guys are probably gonna understand why I wouldn't consider Broly the legendary Super Saiyan, so I don't even have to say it. Bardock never went Super Saiyan, so that immediately eliminates two. So by default, out of the list that you gave me, I have to go with Goku because Broly's not canon, and Bardock never went Super Saiyan. That was just a little thing in the filler thing that never happened. It was a what-if scenario. You guys have anything to say about this?
Not really, but actually no, I have nothing to say on this either, because I think you pretty much hit it out of the park whenever you said it was the older Super Saiyan that Vegeta thought of.
If I had any input at all, like if I had to take a guess, obviously what Qaaman said, Bardock's thing never really happened. That was a non-canon experience. Broly in his whole entire self is a non-canon experience. Goku could be considered a legendary Super Saiyan, not the, and I say that because the legend was that once every so many, like 3 millennia or however many thousand years or whatever, a legendary Super Saiyan appeared, and about that time, Goku would have been the next one in line, I guess, but then everyone else going Super Saiyan after that kind of throws that out the window, so...
In reality, in reality, Thundershot, you can say that all of them are technically in a legendary form. So they're all legendary Super Saiyans. They just broke the 1,000 year rule. Alright.
A lot. Very frequently. Alright.
Thundershot, you want to take this one?
Do you think there could have been another way to defeat Raditz?
Dang. I mean, at that time, I really don't know what to say.
I have an idea.
Let's go up there.
It's honestly a pretty far-fetched one, but maybe they could have used, maybe Tien or Goku could have used the evil containment wave. I mean, we're looking at other options here. I mean, even though that's incredibly far-fetched, I mean, what other ways at that time in the series were there any, like, relevant or recent attempts at defeating somebody other than that?
I got it. We have to consider GT a thing for a second, but because I just watched Qaaman's GT review part 3,
all right,
Trunks in GT got severely injured, not severely, but he got injured in a car accident. This would kill Raditz 1 million times over.
You know what? You're right. We don't even have to go any farther from there. Like, you know, because Trunks could get injured in a car accident, that means Trunks is almost as weak as me, because I would get pretty injured in a car accident too. So, you know what? There we have it. Raditz, just put him in a car and drive really fast. Alright. I have a theory about the first Super Saiyan. I think that Bardock, oh my god, Bardock was the first Super... You know what, James, could you please take this from here? I don't want to read this anymore, because I'm already thrown off by the question. Keep going.
You want me to read the next one or this one?
Just keep reading that question. I can't finish this.
I have a theory about the first Super Saiyan. I think that Bardock was the first Super Saiyan. Here's why. When Frieza threw it, he attacked at Bardock. He was sent back 1,000 years. And since he was sent back 1,000 years before the foes Goku and Frieza, doesn't it make him the first Super Saiyan? Well, no. Because, I mean, well, for one, it was a non-canon thing. And number two... we don't even know he went back 1,000 years, do we?
I'm not sharing my thoughts on this question.
I'm not either. I actually... oh man, I did want to do the next one though.
Even more far-fetched theory. What if being thrown back in time is like the ultimate Zenkai boost?
Oh my god. Here's what I say to this, guys. I'm just gonna say this once and once for all. Episode of Bardock was not real, it wasn't canon. It was basically a what if to illustrate how the legendary Super Saiyan came of being and why Frieza's family was so scared of the Super Saiyan legend. It has nothing to do with Bardock being a Super Saiyan. There's no possible way that being hit with a blast that destroys a planet is going to take you back in time and make you go into a Super Saiyan. It never happened. It never happened in the manga. It never happened in even the anime series. There was just something that was created after. Bardock never went Super Saiyan, and I'm sorry.
It happened in that movie, and it was cool. I'm glad we got it, but...
It was cool, but it gives me good footage from my videos, but sorry, this never happened, my friend. Alright, Thundershot, take this one.
What would have happened if Piccolo killed Frieza in his second form? How will that change the entire series?
Ah, interesting.
I like this one.
James?
Honestly, I think what would have happened is, just real quickly, if Piccolo finishes off Frieza, remember earlier in both the manga and the anime before he started the fight against Frieza, he even told Vegeta, "You're next after I beat Frieza." So I think that's what would have happened afterwards. I think Piccolo would have gone after Vegeta.
Oh, that's sick. I never would have thought of that.
And then, honestly, at that point in their development, I mean, the only reason Dende even healed Vegeta was to help fight Frieza. I mean, there's no way he's going to heal him to fight another Namekian. So basically, Vegeta's not getting any Zenkai boost, and he was already far weaker than Piccolo. And Piccolo's not going to let him go like Goku did, so that would end that right there. And then they would all just... Goku would get out of the healing tank and be like, oh, I guess I don't need to fight. And then they would all just go back to Earth.
Would they forget Bulma?
Probably. It took Krillin getting scared out of his pants to remember Bulma.
If they forget Bulma, thus no Trunks, no warning, Goku dies of heart virus, Trunks' future timeline is what takes over.
Or
kinda,
better
right?
yet, one of two things. Either they go halfway to Earth and realize, crap, we forgot Bulma and go back for, or they just wish her back to Earth with Shenron.
I don't know if they would go back for.
I think they just wish her back.
Yeah.
Alright,
you want to move on?
yeah. Alright, I'll answer this one for it's directly for me. Hey Qaaman, just wondering, how could a Zenkai boost work in real life biology? It wouldn't work, that's the answer. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Ever build a snowman down there? Yes, I actually have. You see, I live in a state, Mr. Protoman 145. I live in a station, and usually at the part of Antarctica where I live, we don't have like snow in like a regular circumstance. We're basically on like a big block of ice, but I have built snowmans here when we went to, you know, the different parts in the mountains and stuff to retract biological organisms and samples. Alright, let's see. Qaaman, what is your favorite color of Super Saiyan here? Because you have the neutral, relaxed, light, creamy yellow. You have shining gold here with the Kai aura on top, and there was a slightly different color in GT. I think he's making a reference to my picture. James, Thundershot, do you guys agree? I guess my favorite color of Super Saiyan here would be, I don't know, blue? I don't know. I mean, I have to say gold by default. I mean, the only two ones are red and yellow.
I always liked it when like the aura was up because their hair had the gold tint was a little darker. Like when they did the aura up, it looked kind of white, and I always thought it looked cooler when it was gold.
But then again, Broly's hair was green.
That was just
he had like that bluish greenish because he was restricted whatever thing.
And he's an aberration in the Saiyan genetics anyway.
Makes sense.
I will say this while we're almost semi on the topic. I was rewatching the Buu saga and the fight with Kid Buu and Goku when Goku was just a Super Saiyan 2. I thought Goku as a Super Saiyan 3 looked pretty sick, but in that arc when he's fighting Buu, I don't like the way Goku looks as a Super Saiyan 2. His hair is shorter for some reason and the super pointy, I don't know. I think they were just trying to make it look really different from Super Saiyan 1, but I don't care for it in the Kid Buu fight, but that's just me.
Alright, so what are your favorite hairs, guys? Your favorite Super Saiyan hairs?
I just think like in the various forms that we're talking about this. Like, how about we just do it per form? Like, nah, that would mean never mind.
No, you're just asking your favorite color of Super Saiyan here.
Probably the darker gold.
Thundershot.
I like the way Goku Super Saiyan 1 looks.
Alright. So
it's simple, it's classy.
Alright, let's see. Well, by default, I'd have to say Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's my favorite, but what if Trunks... But I think Piccolo has great Super Saiyan here. Alright, what if Trunks came to the past and not only killed Frieza and Cole, destroying Jiro's lab too, so 1718 would never be activated, and train with Goku and his friends to get stronger, go to the future with them helping Trunks defeat the androids?
Anybody have a translator?
No, I think I understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I do too.
If Trunks comes to the past and like wipes out Jiro's lab, then that basically means that would affect everything, because if he destroys them, then he can go to Jiro's lab and potentially beat the androids with the Z fighters to get stronger, or he could just ask Bulma take Dr. Jiro's blueprints and just deactivate him, just like what happened in the alternate timeline. The first alternate timeline. So I think Trunks would just get the blueprints and destroy him with the little remote. What do you guys think?
I have a question. Trunks, obviously he thought, Android 17 and 18, or Lapis and Lazuli, were the androids that were going to appear in 3 years. If he would have known that it was Jiro in 19, do you think between him and Goku, they could have gone and beaten those two right then? Because Jiro hadn't calculated for Super Saiyan, which is obviously an enormous boost in power.
And a plot hole.
Say what?
And a plot hole too, but go ahead, continue.
But do you think they would have gone and either found Jiro or his lab and Trunks would have just tried to take it out right then and there?
That's very possible in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, that's definitely likely to happen in my opinion. Alright, let's see. I saw the parody vid, but in all seriousness, who wins between Goku and Sonic? Sonic hands down, like, it's not even close. And for you guys who don't know, James and Thundershot obviously both saw it. two subscribers, Merrick, I think his name was, and Jesse James. They made like a parody of my channel where they were like doing a video about who would win between Goku and Sonic, and they basically did the video in Qaaman style. It's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. I favorited the video, and basically they were asking who would win between Goku and Sonic, and I think it's clearly obvious that Sonic, you know, is much stronger. I mean, originally I was thinking Goku, but they've really swayed me into thinking that Sonic would have a legitimate chance against Goku. I mean, you know, when he turns into a Super Sonic, I mean, that increases his speed so much, and considering the fact that he's beaten tougher villains like Chaos and all of Eggman's robots and Emerald, I would definitely say Sonic would win hands down. And you know, Thundershot's a big, you know, Sonic fan himself. I'm sure he agrees.
For the record, Screw Attack did a thing of this. Now, I know we all hate Screw. I know you all hate Screw Attack as much as I do, but Screw Attack did a...
Sonic and Vegeta, right?
Shadow
and Vegeta, yeah.
And I didn't like the way that they did that fight because Shadow would have had Vegeta, but Vegeta, like, was shoving the moon to planet Earth for some reason. I don't understand it, but basically Shadow spent all of his time as Super Shadow trying to undo crappy stuff Vegeta was doing to the Earth. And I don't think Shadow would have done that because I don't think Shadow gives a damn about the Earth. I think Shadow would have taken out Vegeta, but no. And what it basically came down to, and what I think the fight would come down to, is does Super Sonic burn out, just like in the Screw Attack thing, does Super Sonic burn out before he defeats Goku? Because he's invincible, and he was the fastest thing alive multiplied because he's Super now. But that's what it comes down to. If Sonic can beat Goku before he runs out of superpowers or rings or whatever, then Sonic wins. If not, I think Goku takes that fight.
Even if we're factoring Super Saiyan God?
I am just going off Z right now, and not the end of Z, but like up to the Boo arc.
Okay.
I definitely think Sonic would win. I disagree with Thundershot completely. Sonic has definitely proven himself on more occasions. He's fought tougher villains, and I think for sure, whether he's Super Sonic or not, Sonic would take Goku hands down. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Is Pycon canon? No, there's nothing we have to say about this. James, take the next one.
What if Trunks came from the future in the Saiyan Saga? 1 year before Raditz comes, warning the Z-Fighters the androids would appear in 6 years. Would they train extra hard? Forgive me, but there are so many things wrong with this. Because they would have been like, androids? What? Who are you? And like, they would have had like no inkling, him being a Super Saiyan, no nothing of him. Like, they would have, like, remember in your timeline, remember you were talking about how it made no sense to go back because they didn't even know Frieza was coming to Earth. And like there'd be no reason for Trunks to go back. Well, that's the same thing here. There's no reason for Trunks to go back here. And besides, without Goku learning how to become a Super Saiyan, or without even discovering he was a Saiyan, I mean, yeah, he's going to train hard, but his power level's not going to even come close to even Frieza, let alone the androids.
Well, I'll just point out something really interesting here. Now that you bring up my older video, it kind of makes sense in a way. Well, it doesn't make sense because if you really think about it, you know, considering the fact that when you go back that far in time, you're going to screw up the timeline. Because you remember, whenever you go back in time, you're creating a new timeline and the events are going to go a different way. So Trunks going back that far would have a very negative effect. Maybe Goku might not, you know, go to Namek and train the same way. They could change so many things because Trunks went back too far. But then again, at the same time, if Trunks goes back that far, he could basically just, you know, just go to Namek with him, kill the Saiyans in like one blast. But why would he kill his own dad? You see, this gets too complicated. And then if he goes to Namek, I mean, Goku's going to be weak because how did Goku and Vegeta get so strong? All of those Zenkai boosts along with Gohan. So I think it would be really bad for him to go back in time, so I can't really think of this. Thundershot, what do you think?
No way. There's just too many butterfly effects. There's no way you can actually rationalize the answer for this question.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
But at least we explained why.
Not a bad idea for a question, just too many variables.
Yeah.
Thundershot, take this one.
What do you think of COD Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer? I
definitely say I like Black Ops and all the Activision games like World at War and Black Ops 2 a lot more than the other ones. I personally liked Modern Warfare 3 primarily I kind of like the story to some degree compared to the other Call of Duties, and the multiplayer was basically the same as all the other CODs, the Modern Warfare CODs. I mean, with some upgraded weapons, but it wasn't that. Modern Warfare 3 wasn't my favorite. Black Ops 1 was. Thundershot, James.
I am almost the polar opposite from you. I preferred, for a while, up until Ghosts at least, I really preferred the Infinity Ward ones. I think Call of Duty 4 was the greatest Call of Duty of all time. I will say Black Ops 2 was pretty good. I think that would be my number 2. Then Modern Warfare 2. Then 3. Then Black Ops 1. Then World at War. God, did I hate World at War, but that's a whole other topic. But yeah,
I love
that's my
World
list.
at War.
And Ghost isn't even on there because I don't really play it ever.
You know what, Thundershot, you've given me an idea. The fact that it seems like we both know a lot about Call of Duty, we should have like a discussion one day just talking about this. James?
I would be down for that, because for those of you who don't know, I used to be like the biggest COD nerd on the planet. My channel actually started with Call of Duty gameplay.
Wow.
I'm not like much into video games, honestly, so I really wouldn't be able to answer your question or talk about this much in depth. I'd rather just say that instead of talking and sound like I'm stupid.
Alright. At least you're honest, man.
Yeah, I'd rather be honest, and yeah, it's just how I feel.
Right, let me take this one. What if Goku killed Captain Ginyu? How will that affect the Namek Saga and beyond? James, what is your response to this, James?
Well, let's think about it. Goku kills Captain Ginyu. Now, this would all depend on Frieza and Nail, too, because if Frieza's still fighting Nail, I mean, that was completely different on the other side of the planet. Frieza comes back and sees Goku there, and Goku's still gonna fight Frieza, correct? I mean, he's gonna fight him. He's probably gonna get his butt handed to him. I mean, once Frieza goes into his second form, he's gonna get his butt handed to him, because even with his Kaioken, even times 10 at that point, still not gonna be able to do much damage. And then, if Dende can heal him, he'd get the Zenkai boost that he got in the Healing Timber. That's just my opinion, but it would change it a lot in a way, but in some ways it might not change it near as much.
Well, I'll say this much. I think if Goku killed Captain Ginyu, that would actually be negative, considering Frieza's really the X factor here. If Frieza kills Dende before or after, that really makes a difference. But if he killed Captain Ginyu, that's kind of a bad thing, because that means his body didn't get beaten up so that he would get a Zenkai boost. So when Frieza comes, which he will come eventually, they're all dead.
That's what I meant when I factored that in, that if Goku does get beat up and gets healed by Dende, that's the Zenkai boost. That's just what I meant.
Thundershot?
Go ahead.
I've been really bad this evening about modifying questions a little bit just to try to make things a little more interesting. But I couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if Ginyu would have died by whomever. It doesn't matter. Probably Vegeta by whomever. What if Ginyu would have died with Goku's body?
You know what? You just gave me a video topic, Thundershot. And we're gonna do a complete discussion on this, Thundershot. That's actually a legitimate, what if topic that's more for discussion, and we can definitely think about this later on.
That's good.
Well, thank you to whoever left that question in, because that gave me the idea to twist it just a hair. So,
Thundershot?
Alright. Hey, I was just wondering, couldn't the buff power-weighted form Perfect Cell used against Gohan before throwing up Android 18 be Cell's version of the Kaioken? Both put a strain on the body in exchange for a power increase, and Goku knew it before he went to Namek. I don't know what the Namek thing means exactly, but
he was talking about, because remember, they got the cells. Dr. Gero got the cells from Goku before it went to Namek and didn't really research much after.
Oh, on the Kaioken, I gotcha.
Yeah, I'll say.
I don't think it sells Kaioken. I think it sells version of Super Trunks, when Super Trunks got way too beefed up and he was slow.
Just way too desperate. He was just angry and mad. He didn't.
Yeah, he went for anything, but I don't think that was Cell's version of Kaioken, although it would have been cool if Cell used Kaioken. I gotta admit, that's a pretty sweet idea. But I think that Cell's version of Super Trunks, or Goku did it briefly in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, where he buffed his muscles up too big, but then he said this form is useless because it's too big and I'm slow.
Well, I'll just say that, I agree with Thundershot. It's like his version of Super Trunks. The only problem with that is it can't possibly be based on that, because of the fact that, Gero didn't even know anything about Super Saiyan. But at the same time, I think in general, to agree with Thundershot, it's basically just like Cell's version of just over increasing his power and losing speed. That's basically what I just think it is. I don't think it had much to do with Kaioken, and I don't think Cell would use Kaioken based on how inefficient it could be. Especially considering the fact that Kaioken increases speed, it doesn't decrease it.
That's true too.
Alright, let's see. Qaaman, what if Goku was immortal and still has all his normal powers and everything? If Goku was immortal, which I kind of think he was, as I'm kind of hinting for a future video, I think he would just isolate himself and kind of like be like a watcher of the universe. What do you guys think?
Well, what if his question was like, how would that affect throughout the series if Goku was never able to die?
Well, then there would be no problem with any of the villains. He would have never died against Raditz. He would have never died against Cell. He would have.
Would he get a Zenkai boost though if he can't?
Doesn't matter if he's immortal.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, what if Garlic Jr. came out like near the end of the Z arc, like right after they beat Boo? What if Garlic Jr. comes out? Yeah, he's immortal, but he's an immortal punching bag for the rest of time because he's never going to be able to hurt anybody.
And he's not a Saiyan. He ain't getting no Zenkai boost.
Well, in that case, why don't they just, use the Dragon Balls to wish for Goku to have infinite strength or something? I don't know. That's impossible based on the fact that the dragon can't grant a wish like that. And if they could have, they should have done that a long ass time ago.
And I agree with you're going to go for that anyway.
I don't know.
With your Watcher of Earth theory. Elsewise, though, like assuming that it is just what if he became immortal, I think your Watcher of Earth theory is a good one.
Yeah, but I will just say that I don't think he would have been able to really progress past certain villains who were much stronger than him. What do you have to say, James?
I was just going to say, I don't think Goku would go for it because, I mean, we found out in the new movie that, he doesn't like getting help from others. He would want to get to the highest level of strength he could on his own. I mean, the only reason he'd ask the dragon for infinite strength would be if he really, really needed it.
Alright, well, let's leave it at that. Alright, let's actually answer the question of the day. When you'll be 90 years old, what will matter to you the most? I'll actually type this in health. Alright, so guys, we had to take a quick little intermission and we are continuing our question. So, who is stronger, Goku or Sonic the Hedgehog? Without a question, it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
We answered that one already.
Yeah, no question, like Sonic wins hands down. Does your hair look like your avatar's hair? I don't know. Do you know, James or Thundershot?
I always just assumed that your avatar was just a picture of you, so...
Well, it is, but I mean, James, do you have any opinion?
Thundershot took the words out of my mouth.
Alright, so yeah. It's whatever you think, guys. Hey, Qaaman, I just want to know if you play an instrument. Thank you and have a great day. Yes, I have played 2 instruments. I've played the clarinet and the bassoon. And I played a little bit of the baritone saxophone in middle school. What about you guys?
The recorder in elementary school, but I don't even consider that playing because bad memories. Thundershot?
Played piano in grade school for a little while. I retained none of it. Played trumpet in junior high to high school, and then they moved me over to baritones because we needed more baritones, and I was a kick-ass trumpet. But then I quit doing band and probably retained none of that too. So it's almost as if I never played an instrument at all.
Wow. Well, I mean, if the recorder counts, that's 4 instruments I've played. Alright, let's see. Qaaman, what do you think of this? I'm going to open up a tab and save this question for later. Chuck Norris is so overrated. Seriously, do you guys agree or disagree?
When Chuck Norris goes to sleep at night, he checks his closet for Liam Neeson.
Huh.
What the heck? The actor?
No, it's just a joke, but Chuck Norris is pretty awesome, I will say that.
It's funny. I have a Pokemon playthrough on my channel, and I named my Squirtle Liam Neeson. So I'm laughing thinking of Squirtle in a closet that Chuck Norris is deathly afraid of. But it was just never mind.
You can just imagine Chuck Norris over his closet Squirtle.
Well, Chuck Norris can be as overrated as he wants because I really, really laughed at a lot of those jokes.
Well, I'll just say this really, really quickly. I read a book a while back with my dad, and it was like a little quick comical book about Mr. T and Chuck Norris, and I don't remember what it's called right now, but it was like a whole book about Mr. T and Chuck Norris jokes. Funniest thing ever. Alright, let's move on.
Can I do this one?
Yes.
I know Dragon Ball Evolution was horrible, but would you ever do a review on it?
Oh, can we let Qaaman answer?
Yes, I would love to let him do it.
Oh, well, let me just first start off by saying that many of you have been asking me what I think about Dragon Ball Evolution, and I was being honest when I said I seriously think Dragon Ball Evolution was by far the best film I've ever seen in my life. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm saying the best film. I'm counting real life movies, I'm counting anime movies, I'm counting classical movies, all the movies I've ever seen in my life. Dragon Ball Evolution was the quintessential and perfect movie I've ever seen. I've never seen any movie that was better than it. What do you guys think?
You don't really need to do a review on it, because I saw a video on YouTube a couple weeks ago, and the title was "Everything Wrong with Dragon Ball Evolution in Many Minutes." It's like 22 minutes of just talking about what's wrong with the movie, and I mean, I would not do a review. Qaaman, would you ever do a review on it, you Thundershot?
I will say, when you first said you saw a review on Dragon Ball Evolution called "Everything Wrong with Dragon Ball Evolution in Many Minutes," I thought they were just going to upload the whole movie, but
it was only 22 minutes, so I think
I will say this real quick. Everyone who is upset because Goku was played by a white guy, I know the art style is Japanese, but remember, Goku wasn't Asian. Goku was Saiyan. Just throwing that up. Just saying.
That didn't bother me near as much as the fact he was in school. Like, Abridged, Team 4-Star made a joke about that, and it was hilarious.
Well, guys, I disagree with both of you because I thought those two aspects of the show were awesome, and I seriously found no problem with it. I seriously feel Evolution was an excellent movie, best of all time. And if you guys disagree with me, please say so in the comment section below. But Dragon Ball Evolution was awesome. Alright. Thundershot, you're perfect for this question.
Oh my god. PS4 or Xbox One?
Biased.
I have owned PlayStation for a while and done that thing. I will say this though, just to give it the fairest cut that I can possibly do. If you have like a family who watches like TV a lot and Skype and wants to be able to say Xbox on and Xbox Skype and Xbox TV and stuff like that, you want the convenience of the Kinect and it reading your face and signing you in, and you think that's super cool, get the Xbox One. If you're an actual gamer who wants the best graphics, the best processing power, a thing that won't chug on you, getting 60 frames per second when Xbox One games sometimes only get 30, or getting the 1080p when the same game on the Xbox One would only get 720, because when the Xbox One was released, it didn't even have 720 built in. They had to do a fake, like, upscale patch for it. Then the PS4 is the way to go if you're a gamer. If you're just like a really casual Kinect and everything is cool, then get the Xbox One. But that's my take on it. Do you have anything you want to say, James?
No, I was just commenting and agree on the graphics aspect, but again, I don't know a whole lot about them, so you'd be best to answer that question.
I am the gamer guy, but
to add to what Thundershot is saying, Thundershot probably already knows what system I use. It's the system I'm using right now to record this video. I'm a PC gamer, so I say fuck PS4, fuck Xbox One, and PC gaming for all the way.
He's the PC mustard race.
You can answer the next two questions in with one answer, honestly.
Let's see. What if Trunks went to New Namek and wished back to Z Fighters? What if Goku wished back Bardock? Do you guys want to share your thoughts first?
Thundershot?
Went to New Namek, and I'm assuming he means in Trunks' timeline.
Yeah, I
like
think it's
future Trunks' timeline. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. They would come back, but would they just... I mean, Goku wouldn't have the heart virus.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, I kind of sometimes forget some of the rules of the Dragon Balls. I know that there was a rule that says that after X amount of time, you can't make a wish, but if he uses the Namek Dragon Balls, I'm not sure if that applies.
If anything on Earth, it's actually a plot hole, because according to the dates, Goku was dead for like a year and like 2 or 3 months. And it was like 2 months before they wished him back prior to the fight with Vegeta and Nappa. So if that was been a strict 1-year policy, Goku wouldn't have been wished back. So that's another plot hole.
I think this is one of those that's a little too far out there to guess, just for me personally. But
I think that if Trunks could wish back the Z Fighters, though, that would be a very good idea, and I kind of don't understand why he spent his entire life not thinking of doing that. As far as what if Goku wished back Bardock, I don't think Goku would wish back Bardock. I just can't... I don't think he could
I'm
be.
Sorry.
You know, I was just gonna say I don't think he could wish him back, and I don't think he would.
Did Trunks know about the Namekian balls? I mean, I get Dende was there. Dende was
in the
guarding.
filler in the history of Trunks, he would, because, in a way, because Bulma mentioned off topic that going to Namek was their favorite adventure, so maybe...
You're right.
I don't know. But then again, that's filler. That's not really part of the canon.
But James, remember, even though, because the history of Trunks comes before, you know, has all the consistencies of our timeline beforehand, that would mean that, you know, it had all of the same events, which means that Bulma did go to Namek, which means that Bulma, you know, still knew about him.
Yeah, and he did come back to kill Frieza, and that's where the whole fight took place and everything, so...
The scene was off topic, but then again, you know, I'd be really shocked if at some point Bulma didn't mention to Trunks about Namek. I'd be shocked.
Bro, it's really surprising. Alright, let's see.
Especially since I almost forgot her.
Do either of you guys know anything about Mortal Kombat?
Not enough to answer this next question.
Well, I guess I'm alone here. Fuck one, marry one, kill one. Melina, Jade, or Kitana for Mortal Kombat. Now, I saw this question as I was answering the other one before, and I've already prepared what I was going to say. I would definitely kill Melina because she has Tarkatan teeth, and I would be killed if, you know, with ease if, you know, I was around her. So I would kill Melina. I would fuck Jade, and I would marry Kitana. End of question.
Alright, there we go.
Alrighty. Moving on.
Can I read this next one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Why do you think Goku never used the Super Kaioken again? I'll finish reading. I think if he did some intense training, he'd be capable of using it while Super Saiyan 3, and then even though it would do some damage to his body, he'd be the mightiest warrior in the universe by far. This question comes from Dennis, end of parenthesis.
Smiley face.
Well, I tried to be funny about it, but that's cool.
Oh, sorry. Alright, let's see.
Colon.
I don't...
I'll just
James,
say
you
right
want to
off
share
the
your
bat
thoughts
that
here?
I'll state right off the bat that when he did use Super Kaioken in the first place, that was his filler PyCon fight.
You remember.
That never actually happened, so... Well, filler, didn't happen in the manga. Allow me to clarify, but...
No, it didn't.
I think that if he were to use it as a Super Saiyan 3, considering how much of a strain Super Saiyan 3 puts on his body, he might explode. Like, the Kaioken already does enough to his body. Super Saiyan 3 already does enough on top of that. I mean, it would do so much more harm than good. He'd get maybe 5 seconds tops of actually being able to do something in 30 to 40 minutes, provided there's no Dende to heal him or no Sensu beans, of just writhing in pain.
Think about how long 5 seconds actually is. Like, we'll put that into perspective. First of all, they can move way faster than we can even blink. And secondly, that Frieza fight lasted 5 minutes. So, I mean, just to scale, Goku could get a lot in 5 seconds.
That is actually very true. You got me on that one.
Do you have any thoughts, Qaaman?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think he, like, the first part of the question says, why do you think he never used it? Because it's obviously filler. But I think if he had used it, I don't think it would be efficient for him, considering the fact that, you know, what you said about Toriyama Thundershot about, you know, because, you know, guys, just for you guys who don't know, Thundershot's the news guy out of our three-man partnership. And Thundershot reported that Toriyama said that, you know, Goku no longer wants to use Super Saiyan 2 or 3 because of the strain on his body. And I think if he were to go Super Kaioken, it would just completely add to that. Do you have any comments about that? Or inform him really briefly, Thundershot, about the news?
Yeah. A couple months back, after Battle of the Gods came out, Akira Toriyama did an interview, and he says that after Battle of the Gods, Goku then realizes, and I understand this question is, well, never mind. He says that after Battle of the Gods came out, Goku realized that Super Saiyan 2 and 3, the power-up in itself, A, it puts strain on his body, but B, it takes energy to transform, and he thinks that that's wasting too much energy now, so he probably won't go Super Saiyan 2 or 3 anymore. So he's trying to train in his base form and then power up to Super Saiyan 1 when he needs it, from the way I understand it. And Kaioken would be added strain in itself to Super Saiyan 2 and 3. So that's probably, that's what Qaaman's getting at.
And besides, whenever you think about it, remember, he absorbed a lot of the godly energy whenever he fought Beerus, so that automatically boosted his base in Super Saiyan 1 level automatically.
Here's a question. How red is Goku if he is Super Saiyan God Kaioken?
Oh my god.
You would just be a blur. It would just be a big...
It'd be a new level of red.
Yeah, he'd be fire, man. Alright.
Literally.
Take this one, Thundershot.
I was wondering, could you answer? You came to the right place. What would have happened if Trunks went back into time during the Dragon Ball days before Goku was an adult and defeat the Red Ribbon Army then? Can we just default that one to another too big of a what-if scenario thing?
Yeah, that's... Really
too far back in time? So this is like the other question, but even further back in time somehow, so...
Well, I'll just add this. If everything could stay somewhat constant, that's actually the perfect thing to do. If Trunks could, like, somehow do it, like, out of the way, that would be perfect because he could kill Dr. Gero and his whole army and, like, Goku can still live the rest of his life. However, without Goku getting the fighting experience and fighting others because of the events that led to other events, Goku wouldn't be as strong, which would affect all of the future fights that would take place after that. So, I think it has too much of an impact on the series and history.
Do you have any thoughts, James?
My thoughts on him going back would be... I only see one scenario in which he were to go back, and that would just completely nuke Dr. Gero's lab. But then again, you know, it's still a whole lot of what-ifs and still a lot of thinking on the whole topic, but don't you think that Goku, or at least Master Roshi, because if you think about it, at that time, the only one who really could sense things was Master Roshi. Don't you think that they would have picked up on something going on where Gero's lab was?
I think Master Roshi would have imploded just sensing a power level that high at that time.
At that point, oh my gosh, considering how he wet his pants at the thought of King Piccolo being released.
But, James, you remember Trunks can suppress his energy, though.
That's true. That is very true. But he would have to at least raise it a little bit if firing any kind of ki blast, because it would register Master Roshi's mind.
Not to do that super annoying thing where I twist the question just a hair, but what if Trunks came back and only killed Dr. Gero and then left? Because Dr. Gero was never even seen in Dragon Ball. That wouldn't have affected almost anything Goku did. What if Trunks comes back, ices Gero, and then leaves?
That would have weakened Goku, actually, because if you think about it, remember, the Red Ribbon Army hired mercenary Tao, who kicked Goku's butt. Goku went up to Korin Tower, drank the sacred water, and trained with him to get stronger. So Goku, by default, would have been a lot weaker at a certain point in the series.
You're right, because Tao would have to somehow be connected to Gero.
Yep.
Even though we never saw it. That's a very good point you brought up.
And then again, the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament where he lost to Tien, that would have been a bigger loss. Tien would have embarrassed him because he'd have been so much stronger than him.
James, that is an amazing point you brought up, my friend.
Thank you very much. I do want to... There's 2 questions down. It's a versus between 2 people. I want to do that one, but you guys go ahead the next one.
Yeah. Thundershot, do you have anything else to say about this one?
No, I'm done with that question.
Thundershot, speaking of you, is like the big gamer out of all of us. I think you're perfect for this one.
What do you think of the Burnout series, i.e. Burnout 3? Well, I will admit this first off. I haven't played as many racing games as I would have liked to because they are usually really good. I played Need for Speed Underground, I believe it was, and I think that game was pretty solid. And then the Burnout series, I really, really, really liked Burnout Paradise. I never owned it myself, but I borrowed it from a friend for like a year and played it a lot. So I know that was really good, but other than that, I haven't really touched up on many racing games, so I don't feel qualified to give my thoughts on this.
Well, I've played Burnout, but I've never owned it. But I would say I'm a little bit more affiliated with Grid, even though I don't own it. Thundershot, do you play Grid?
No, I do not.
Alright. Well, let's not forget to give him a shout-out, because he's a very important person.
Oh, Prince Vegeta, of course.
Yes. Alright.
Was this the one you wanted, James?
Yeah. Bruce Lee versus Muhammad Ali. I honestly would love to have seen them fight in their prime, but I really honestly can't wrap my brain around who I think would win, because Muhammad Ali can take so much and he can just keep fighting, and Bruce Lee just fights so fast. I mean, it'd be such an interesting fight. What do you guys think?
I'd say Bruce Lee would win hands down. It wouldn't even be close. I'm not saying Ali wasn't a great fighter. Ali was awesome, but Bruce Lee is the greatest martial artist in history, which means he's like a master of all fighting styles, whereas Ali was more of just a puncher. So I think because of his versatility, I think Bruce Lee would take Ali down within seconds.
If they're in an unarmed fight to the death or a martial arts match or anything like that, yeah, Bruce Lee wins. I think Bruce Lee has to take that one. If they're boxing, I think it's a little closer, but I think due to Holly's strength, because he was a bigger guy, like notably, I do think Muhammad would be able to take him in boxing.
I would just love to see the fight, just to see those two go at it. I mean, like,
but I do think
just chill.
I think boxing would be far closer of a match between the two of them than martial arts would.
I mean, who knows? Maybe Bruce Lee can take him in boxing too because of all of his dodges, but I think this is a question, whoever you are, if you're watching us answer your question, you gotta access for Blackenfist. I'd love to hear his response to this, because he's a boxing guy.
That would be so epic.
Alright. Let's see. G.I. Joe team versus Red Ribbon Army. James, take this. What do you think of this, James?
This isn't even close. They would.
All right, let's get this.
Yeah, before I stop breathing. Go.
Thundershot.
Let's just say Red Ribbon Army. Move on.
Thundershot.
Yeah, I think Tao would be able to take the G.I. Joe team, but
well,
anyways.
Let me just say this, Thundershot, to defend your points, guys. You do realize that Android 17 and 18 and Cell are technically a part of the Red Ribbon Army, right?
Oh my god.
I just thought of something else too. You guys remember how Android 8 didn't want to fight?
Mm-hmm.
I could just imagine the G.I. Joe team trying to hit him with everything, and he's just standing there going like, I don't want to fight you, or something like that.
Super 17.
Done.
I have one more response to this question. You want to know how the G.I. Joe team would fight against the Red Ribbon Army? Watch that episode of Cell versus the Military, and that'll tell you the answer. Alright, let's see. Thundershot, I want you to do this one question. Talk for me.
Hey, Mr. Qaaman. Let me first say I truly enjoy your DBZ videos, and they make me even more interested in DBZ. But there is something on my mind that I need to know, and I know you could answer for me if you make a video about it. But what if Goku became Majin instead of Vegeta?
Impossible.
Thank you.
Team Mystic on Instagram. Sorry to cut you off, Thundershot.
No, you're fine.
Impossible. What do you guys think?
Impossible. You get another person here. I agree.
Thundershot.
Just to humor them, if it did happen, I think Goku becomes a little stronger, but I don't think it matters because I don't think he's strong enough to beat Super Buu. And then everything in the timeline pretty much goes the exact same. Because I assume he would snap out of it just like Vegeta did.
Yeah, I mean, like, Vegeta only used it to get a little bit of a boost. He didn't really care to do anything about it.
Yeah, because Goku was already stronger than Vegeta, and I believe he was already stronger even in Super Saiyan 2 form. So he's still going to hold back and let Vegeta win that fight, assuming that they have it, probably. And then everything else he did in Super Saiyan 3, he could have beat Fat Buu, but he didn't because he wanted to give the other people a chance to save the world. He said, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but he said he could have beaten Kid Buu, but he didn't because he wanted to give Vegeta a chance to fight. So nothing really changes, and like I said, I still don't think the boost is enough to make him stronger than Super Buu.
And remember,
I don't think anything changes.
Yeah, remember, they were gonna. Toriyama actually wanted to have Piccolo become a Majin, but everybody pushed for Vegeta because they wanted another fight.
Vegeta might die, like for real, to where he never comes back when he fights with Kid Buu because he's not strong enough to stay alive, like withstand that fight. But
interesting. But one thing that you also got to factor in is if Goku became Majin, that means he wouldn't play around. And I think it was Goku might be under more control from Jiro because Goku's not as mentally strong in some ways as Vegeta. Vegeta's will was the reason why, his Majin effect only increased his power, and Babidi had no control over him because Vegeta's will is so strong. But I think if Goku were to just fight in the same way Vegeta did, Super Saiyan 3 Goku would have killed Dabura and Vegeta and even Majin Buu as Fat Buu before even trying. So that's a good question, Team Mystic, but it's impossible because Goku's a good guy, and you can't make good guys Majin.
Okay, I know this question is intended solely for Qaaman because of a certain phrase they use here. Do you want to go ahead and take it?
Why didn't Goku use his one day to go back to Earth to stop the androids in the hot timeline? That's a damn good question. But I think it has something to do with the way Goku died. And I say this because Goku died in the main timeline and got the day back because he was a hero for like sacrificing himself for Cell. I think in Trunks' timeline he went to heaven instead of Otherworld, but maybe he did go to Otherworld to train because he was still a hero. But that's a very good question. Honestly, I just think it's writing. I think they just didn't write that to happen. Some things I can't answer because it's just writing. Would you guys agree? Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, this question's definitely for me from Devin LeBom. Is there a Walmart in Antarctica? How do you get food? Okay. I live in a station in Antarctica, and the thing is that where we live, we store a lot of food, basically to have, running water and all of the basic livable supplies, and we have enough supplies to support several people for several years. So, it's not always the greatest food. It's a lot of canned things, but we have a lot of stored food. We don't have to go to Walmart because there is no stores here.
And you don't I can't talk today. You don't ever have to worry about having a refrigerator or meat spoiling because there's always just outside for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, that's funny when you say that.
Yeah. Supply down there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point you bring up. All right. Well, this is the same question. Let's just delete this. Thundershot?
I got a question for you. Why didn't Doc Giro wanted to release Android 16 from his case? Please answer.
I think that... Well, didn't you report on this along with Blackenfist? About how it was his son? Did you report this one, or was it only Blackenfist?
I think that might have just been Blackenfist, but either way, I either watched the video or was involved with it, but that happened a long time ago, and I'm fuzzy on it myself.
Well, long story short, Blackenfist had a theory that the reason why Dr. Giro didn't want to release 16 was because he was a personality failure, and that, it was recently released that 16 was based off of his dead son. If you want to have more more insight into this, check out Blackenfist's video. I believe it was called Toriyama Says Crazy Things.
Probably, yeah.
James, do you have anything?
I think it might also have to do with the fact that his programming wasn't done yet.
Thundershot?
And that he could be swayed to do something because he's programmed to kill Goku and not to do anything else. If something comes up and he's not programmed completely to kill Goku, he might not do it. As evidence with the Cell games where he fought alongside him.
Yeah, pretty much. And I don't know if the story developing had a whole lot to do with it. But if 16 would have popped right out of the case and saw Goku, would he have killed him, or would he said, "No, you're a nice guy. I'm not going to kill you"?
I think he would have tried to kill him because he's artificial, so he has no real emotions. But I mean, it's all complicated. It all depends on the writing, honestly. That's just what I say. But I'm interested to see if they release new news on this. All right, Thundershot, ask me this question, please.
Why don't you try making new videos while explaining reviews of DBC instead of showing videos in the background?
I'm kind of confused what he means by this. Does he mean footage?
Yeah.
I think he just means your videos in general. Why don't you try making a new video somehow instead of just taking clips from the old DBZ stuff? I think is what he means. I might be wrong.
But how would I be making a new video? Like, what is he suggesting?
You're supposed to yourself draw a new saga.
What the hell?
And just kind of plug that in. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I'm very confused by this question, but I do. The reason I show clips of footage is so it helps the viewers get a better idea of what I'm talking about in specific terms. Oh, James, this question, you definitely have to answer this one.
What is a penis? Give me your most detailed description. It's a hot dog with cream filling. Next question.
Thundershot?
Wait, hold on. Qaaman?
Go ahead,
Thundershot, do you have anything? I want to be last for this. Thundershot, do you have anything?
Okay. I want you to take a good, long, and hard look at Pan in the GT series. Because Pan in the GT series is a penis. Next.
Now, let me answer this question for you nice and easy. A penis is the male reproductive system, and a penis is usually the productive system that only exists in males, and in very rare cases, hermaphrodites and occasionally females who like to get surgery. The penis is primarily used for two functions. One of the functions is to have sexual intercourse with other females in most situations. It can also be used for homosexual men. And what the penis does is that after a certain point, it ejaculates semen into the woman, and essentially that's how people are born after it. Now, the other function of the penis is, in addition to, giving birth, by, basically fermenting your sperm into an egg, the other function of a penis is for males to urinate, whereas, women urinate and give birth with their vaginas. Men also urinate with their penises as well. So that's basically the two primary functions of the penis, and I hope I gave you a good description of it.
Damn, have I been using mine wrong. Anyways.
That's one man's biology lesson for today.
Is the guitar a fruit?
You want to help me out here, Thundershot?
No.
James?
No, I don't want to help you out. That's the answer to the question is no. I am a fan of this next question, though.
Thundershot, you wanted to go for it.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick. Mayonnaise is not an instrument.
Yes, you got it. I'm thrilled. Horseradish is not an instrument either.
Let's just say, guys, quickly that it's clearly obvious that the person who asked the question about the guitar is also asking a question about the mayonnaise.
Do you get the mayonnaise reference?
I'm 99% sure. I'm guessing it's from SpongeBob, but I don't know exactly what it is.
I was gonna say, I've seen so many Squidward memes where he's had that face when Patrick asked him. It's hilarious.
I would have closed the Skype call and not called you back if you wouldn't have got the reference. But anyway. What do you think of COD Black Ops 2? These next two are COD questions, and we kind of gave our full analysis on those earlier, don't you think?
Well, let me just say really briefly, COD Black Ops 2 is my fourth favorite Call of Duty. My first one was obviously Black Ops 1, followed by World at War. And then, even though it's really old, I would have to say Call of Duty Big Red One, the old World War II shooter, comes in third place for nostalgic purposes. And Black Ops 2 comes in fourth after that. Thundershot, do you have any thoughts?
No, Black Ops 2 is my second favorite game. It did a lot of things right, a couple things wrong, and as always in Call of Duty games, connection is a huge issue. But that's about it.
What did I think of COD Ghost? I actually bought COD Ghost for the PC. I could probably do some gameplay footage of it one day if people are really interested. I thought it was a decent game, but it definitely didn't live up to the hype that it was saying it was supposed to. I expected a lot more newer things, and I definitely expected more people to play it because, I play on PC, but, for other COD games, it was way more active, and on Ghost, it's kind of dead.
They had a weaker showing on Ghost than they had on the previous games, like, people-wise, like, as a whole, and then you have to factor into that not only it used to be split up between 3-4 if you count the Wii or Wii U, but now it has to be split up with 5 or 6 different systems with, we'll just call it 5 for the sake of it. But with PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PC all being options, it's spread it really thin to where even now, on its most used console, the Xbox One, it's hard to get a game that with really good connection that everybody's solid with. But yeah, and my opinion on Ghost, I didn't have Ghost. I've grown out of Call of Duty for a while, not to say that it's bad or any worse than it was when I was playing it. I haven't played Ghost very much. I didn't buy Ghost when it came out. I got it a couple months after it came out because my uncle thought it was so bad he just gave it to me. Shipped it in the mail, but I played it a little bit. I can't even rank it on a list because I haven't got to. It's not that I haven't got to. I haven't played it enough because I don't play Call of Duty anymore. It wasn't that great from what I've played, but that's about my opinion on it.
All right. Well, you really went all deep with that one, man. All right, let's see. James?
All right. Did Vegeta really think he could defeat Fat Boo with that explosion?
Yes.
Why? Or else he wouldn't have killed himself. It's kind of obvious here, people.
Thundershot?
But, yeah. Go ahead, Thundershot.
Well, he knew... I wouldn't say for sure Vegeta was like, yes, if I blow myself up, I know I will beat Boo. I will say Vegeta was like, I am not strong enough to beat Boo. He's going to kill me regardless. I'm gonna try this.
Fail. Alright.
Yeah, and then it didn't work.
I gotta
It
be
makes
honest.
me think this question reminds me, and again, you have to accept GT as a thing, which I completely understand not accepting GT as a thing, but just to humor me a bit, it reminds me of when Goku was going to blow himself up on Omega Shenron, and Vegeta calls him off. He's like, quit being a moron. That
We're on
totally won't
17
work.
and he prevented it.
Yeah.
But I was gonna provide some real quick. It's just one of my favorite parts about after the aftermath of him trying to blow up Boo was Piccolo's face when Boo kept rebuilding himself. I'll skip you once.
You know, I'll just say something really quick about GT. I find it kind of funny that the two strongest, villains in the series between Super 17 and Omega Shenron, Goku both teased the series that he was going to blow himself up to destroy him, and it just never happened. It was like an ultimate tease. Alright, Thundershot, I think this question's just for you, man.
We get this one all the time. What if Goku and Gohan joined Raditz?
Wait, no, the one before that.
Oh, did I skip one?
Yeah, the
Oh,
one.
my bad. How do you, Qaaman, every time I make a YouTube video, I get no comments, no subscribers, and no likes? Qaaman, what should I do, and can you please help me? Can you get people to check out my channel? I am in desperate need of your help, and I am a big fan of yours, so can you please help me?
You know what?
Xenoverse Kai.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Everybody who's watching this video, check out Xenoverse Kai's channel. If he sends me a link after he sends this, I'll post it in the description. I'll try to look it up. I don't know, he didn't leave the link here. But I'll help a guy out. Your question is being advertised, and I'll help out a fellow subscriber who's a big fan of mine. As far as getting no comments and no subscribers, I think you're talking to the wrong person, and I'm not saying that because I'm not popular. I'm saying that because just a year ago, if you could ask Thundershot or James who know the story, what was I a year ago, guys?
You had about as many subscribers as I did.
Yeah, you were at like 200, 300, something like that?
I was a virtual nobody a year ago too, so I guess I got lucky in some way. Maybe I made really good videos and people shared me a lot, but I was basically a nobody a year ago, so I'm still kind of transitioning into this bigger YouTuber status, and I'm sure Thundershot would agree. Do you have any suggestions, Thundershot?
This is kind of like my default go-to. For anyone who asks me this, I mean, I want to do a more detailed video on my channel, but for right now, my default go-to is do something you love, so that way you're never going to get tired of it, something you can always do. For me, it's gaming and talking about Dragon Ball. Tag very, very, very well is really important.
Extremely.
Be consistent, and in your case, I will tell you, getting your feet under you, getting that first 100, 200, 500 subscribers is the hardest part. I was on YouTube for an entire year. I got 6,000 subscribers after a full year. It's been a couple months since then, and now I'm over 20K. So getting your feet under you is the hardest part by far.
I can honestly finish this off by telling you something that Thundershot, Blackenfist, and myself all have in common. And the fact is that when you start off YouTube, you will struggle at first. You will be, a virtual nobody. And I might make a video one day explaining my whole story about this. But, when you first start off YouTube, because nobody subscribed to you, it's really hard to get subscribers. The people who are going to subscribe to you love your content so much that they're going to watch you even if you're not popular.
It's really hard for people to find your content in general because YouTube likes to bump videos to the top of the search engine that already have a good amount of views on them.
Exactly. I got lucky because when YouTube changed its format, I started getting spikes of subscribers. I don't know why, but as soon as the format changed, because I'm sure you guys remember about a year ago, YouTube had a different format for channels, and once it changed, I started getting spikes. But the thing is once you get your first respectable amount of subscribers, which could take a while, and depending on the quality of your videos, over time, once you have a respectable amount, then people are just going to sub to you automatically, because Thundershot and I can tell you, when people see our channels and they see our banners, especially because we have professionally made banners by a really good designer, once they see that the three of us all have over 10,000 subs, then that means that they're going to say, oh, well, these guys are popular for a reason. And that kind of helps us. So now we're being subbed to for our popularity instead of just video quality, which kind of gives us an advantage. But just make the most consistent videos you can, tag the most, and, you know, always try to put your videos out there. And, you know, I'll try to find you and I'll leave a link to your channel in the description to help you out. So viewers, please help him out.
Like, I'm going through the same thing because, like, I only have about I'm less than 200 subs. I'm still trying to work my way up too, you know?
Yeah, just stick with it, because I can't tell you, being as a person who uploads a lot, I had 7 Mario Kart videos go up today. But anyways, being a person who uploads a lot, there was a long time for my channel where I had more videos on my channel than I had subscribers, so it worked out in the end. But anyways.
Yeah. Alright, man. Well, that's basically it. But we all started from the bottom and now we're here. Alright.
Oh, kills myself.
Oh, gosh.
James?
What if Goku and Gohan join Raditz? Well, they wouldn't. And Thundershot, I believe you kind of wanted to do this one.
Yeah, Qaaman and I have gotten this one on more than one occasion, but basically I think just to humor them, Goku takes Gohan and they do join Raditz. They go off and claim planets and sell them and just keep doing that and get money, I guess. And then, yeah, because the Red, like, obviously they never find out about Frieza or Vegeta or Nappa. The Red Ribbon Army never shows up because Goku's gone. Why do they need to try to kill him anymore? It would take Boo forever to break out, if he ever broke out again, because there's no fight or energy on the planet to build him up to bring him out, so.
I have a question though for you, Thundershot. How was Gohan born with an evil Goku?
I'm not saying Goku's evil, I'm just saying for whatever reason, just to humor this question, let's say he was persuaded somehow by Raditz to go with them.
Alright, well, I agree with what you said. I was just curious about that thing. Alright, let's move on. Let's see. I enjoyed your Dragon Ball GT review. By the way, in case you didn't know, GT stands for Grand Tour. Yes, and as a matter of fact, James, Thundershot, you saw my video, right?
I did earlier today, yes.
You would know that I directly mentioned you in it. Okay, Thundershot and I made a joke together in a previous video where we were talking about Dragon Ball Goku's time.
And we are by no means the first people to ever say this. Like, we know that.
Can you explain why we said it, Thundershot?
Well, GT is Goku time, and as you stated in the video, everyone is standing around pretty much with their thumb up their butt waiting for Goku to show up and save the day. The Shadow Dragon arc, the ball's split in all kinds of different directions. Gohan, the hero, is waiting for Goku to go get. Vegeta, the hero,
taking a shower
for Goku to, like, I understand they're dads and have real lives and parents now, but they would not by any means ever just throw that out the window like, Goku will get it.
And Goku was probably on a date or something.
Yeah.
Let me ask James this, because we always laugh about this off the air. James, I have a question for you. What were the Z Fighters doing when Goku and Pan were hunting the dragons?
Sitting around drinking tea, and Thundershot, what else were they doing? They were
thumb up their butt.
Thank you.
Alright. Thank you, Prince Vegeta. By the way, Prince Vegeta, I'm very disappointed in you because you didn't show up until the last Shadow Dragon. I mean, you were taking a shower, thinking about how much of a rival Goku.
Driving Bola to go shopping.
Yeah.
In a car. You're Vegeta.
So
a car.
How dare you, Prince Vegeta?
Speaking of Prince Vegeta, he's got like the next 5 questions.
Yeah, so. I just noticed that.
Do you want to power through these? Have any fears?
Yes, Vegeta, you're the Prince of all Saiyans, we'll have it, but how dare you be so inactive until the last saga? Have any fears, Qaaman? Death. What about you guys?
I hate heights, and I hate needles even more. I always joke, if I have to get a booster shot at 23,000 feet, I probably won't make it.
Nice shot.
Have any fears, Qaaman? I think one of your fears would be with global warming being a thing, that your ice block would melt.
Well, that's true, definitely, but I mean, I was just specifically saying from just natural fears and stuff. That's kind of like, I guess you would say an altered fear. What fears do you have, Thundershot?
Probably, and some of you will get this reference, but the number one threat to America, bears.
Bears?
I have a fear of bears.
Does this have anything to do with the Russians or no?
No, I'm not afraid of Russians, just bears.
It was a joke.
They can even be on unicycles wearing the hats. It's okay, it's just bears.
Well,
Family Guy.
if anybody's afraid of bears, don't worry, the Packers will take care of them. Alright.
Oh, snap. Shots fired.
Steelers will clean up shop when y'all are done.
Hell, the Colts even.
Alright, Prince Vegeta. Alright, let's see. Prince Vegeta, can I follow you? Well, currently I'm answering 2 out of your 5 questions, so at this moment I can't follow you. Okay. Hey, yeah, can you do a conspiracy on 9/11? You know what? I've been seriously thinking of doing more conspiracy theories on my channel. I've only done one about time travel, and I'm really considering doing more. I just really want to, go all out without, with getting a lot of returns, because a lot of people subscribe for Dragon Ball Z, but I'm seriously trying to, diversify my content, as with all the sports segments I've been uploading lately. So I'll definitely consider doing it, Prince Vegeta. Get earthquakes down there? Well, not exactly, because considering the fact I'm living on ice, there really is no earthquakes per se. But what I could say is that, sometimes we have ships that, take us from, several parts of the land, and, I guess sometimes there are some avalanches and stuff, but as far as earthquakes are concerned, not too many take place in Antarctica. Alright, guys, what do you say for this one?
Anyway.
Are you talking about the next question?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go and read it, James?
Sure. Anyway, do you think Cell would become a Z fighter if he survived? If he did, how would it affect the series?
I feel like we've answered this before, Qaaman.
Yeah, we did in Blackenfist. I remember specifically we answered it in Blackenfist 9,000 subscriber special. If Cell was a good guy, he would be a great asset to the other Z fighters, considering all the techniques he learns, considering the fact that he could train with them, and considering the fact that he'd basically be the strongest person next to Gohan. So I think Cell would be great if he was a good guy, but I just can't see him as a good guy.
No, same here.
I'm going to bring up my theory that I'm pretty sure I used in Blackenfist over 9,000 special. After Cell, like if he would have survived, whether he become good or bad, Cell could easily be the strongest character in the history of Dragon Ball Z, because he could instant transmission to wherever he wanted, blow himself up, get himself back together, receive Zenkai boost, blow himself up, like rinse, lather, repeat. He has infinite.
It'd be
Zenkai.
like the ultimate of trolling.
Yeah.
Man, that's just insane, don't you think?
Yes, it is.
Alright. James?
He's a demon.
Yes, Piccolo is the Demon King. Thundershot?
What does that make Deborah?
Deborah is the Demon King. I mean, like, I didn't know where to go with that. Like, that's why I stopped.
I'm sorry, you could be talking about Yu Yu Hakusho, you could be talking about Dragon Ball Z. The three of us are just having fun, but we have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Alright,
Please elaborate.
Thundershot, take this one.
Goku and Krillin stay rivals after Master Roshi's training. How would the rest of the series play out? P.S. Also, what if Goku turned Super Saiyan during the Saiyan saga, knowing his friends are dead? He would be extremely angry. First scenario doesn't count for this one. Keep making great vids.
Well, because of the compliment, we have to answer this person correctly. I don't understand what he means by if Goku and Krillin stay rivals, how would that affect the rest of the series? I mean, Krillin's not a bad guy, so it's not a rivalry like Vegeta or Piccolo.
If they kept sparring on like a regular basis, I don't think Goku's power level would get raised a whole lot. Krillin's might go up a little bit, but I don't think he's ever going to catch Goku at that point. And there's no way Goku goes Super Saiyan in the Saiyan saga.
No way.
He's way too weak at this point.
Yeah. A couple more Zenkai boosts and years later, maybe. Alright, that's basically it. Thank you for the compliment. James?
If you could rewrite one part / saga in DBZ, what would it be and how would you rewrite it? I can't say right for some reason. Keep in mind, it has to make enough sense as to what is happening, and you must include a new transformation for the heroes because every saga is a new transformation in DBZ, etc. Saiyan, Kaioken, Frieza, Super Saiyan, etc. What?
Seth Wheeler, thank you.
Thank you, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you rewrite? Let's just forget the whole transformation part. Who would you guys rewrite?
I was going to say, for the sake of it, I don't think adding another transformation makes sense because...
Every saga added a new transformation.
Yeah, we're not making a new saga. We're just changing another one a little bit.
Yeah.
If I could rewrite... I did it. But if I could rewrite it, I would keep Gohan the protagonist. I wouldn't make him a huge nerd. I would... Like, Goku's dead or whatever, but Gohan keeps training and hopefully hits Super Saiyan 3, and then we see where that goes. Maybe Goten's potential gets unlocked, I don't know, instead of Gohan's, but that's what I would change. I would have kept Gohan, because that was Akira's original idea, if he hadn't ended the series right then and there, is that he originally wanted to keep Gohan the hero, but with the backlash and the love for Goku, he changed it a little bit, because he killed Goku off and left Gohan the strongest being on the earth. That's where he was going with that. But I would have kept Gohan. Anyone else?
James?
Qaaman, you want to go first while I still think about this?
Sure. The first thing I would say is I'd definitely change the Buu saga. You guys already know I have a serious hatred for the ridiculous amount of transformations that Majin Buu has. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean... Fat Buu, Super Buu, Kid Buu, Evil Buu, Super Buu with Gohan, Super Buu with Gohan. It's just too much. I would change all of that. But what I would do seriously with Dragon Ball Z, I would seriously think that the best way to change the series would be, I would have the Frieza saga all about Goku, just like how it was with Super Saiyan. I'd have the Cell saga about Gohan, and I would have the Buu saga all about Goten and Trunks to show that they have more potential than even Gohan did. And the show can, go in the direction of Goten and Trunks as the new saviors of Earth, considering how strong they were as kids. I think they could have been much better characters in that way. And I would develop them. I wouldn't make Goten look exactly like Goku. I would make him look similar to Goku like Gohan, but not exactly like him. It's just... all those Goku lookalikes are just ridiculous in my opinion. And that's what I would do.
For me, I would rewrite the end of the fight with Cell, because I mean, yeah, the Kamehameha struggle between Cell and Gohan was epic, but I would have liked to have seen an actual fight between the two of them, more than what we got.
Oh.
Anyone else chime in on that?
That is interesting, but I think if they're both completely at full health, I still think Gohan has the edge almost, not exactly, but almost easily over Super Perfect Cell. Gohan still is notably stronger than him and wins that fight. Not with ease, but he wins that fight. And then, of course, regular Perfect Cell just gets annihilated, but I think that would still happen. So I'm kind of okay with the Kamehameha Wave struggle in that scenario, but that is a really good
And also, if I could point out one thing, just the Buu saga, it kind of going off what Qaaman said, it kind of ran a little long in my mind. I mean, I actually liked the bringing back of the Spirit Bomb to get rid of Kid Buu. I thought it was pretty epic, but it kind of went on a little too long.
I didn't like
and
it
the
was
ending
okay.
of ABC, and the ending of...
Well, I'll say really quickly, to add to what you were saying, James, about it going on too long. I mean, the Frieza saga went on, the Namek saga went on a ridiculously long time too, but you gotta factor in that, a 5-minute fight took 12 episodes, but the thing with the Buu saga, I can see what you mean it went on too long, because it was just too many transformations that kept continuing it,
And the Namek saga can be broken down almost. I mean, there's the, when they first get there, there's the, there's the Ginyu saga or whatever you want to call that. That can almost be broken down into its whole thing as their entire fight with the Ginyu Force. Where the Buu saga is, there's the World Tournament in the beginning, and then, like you said, the amazing amount of transformation Super Buu goes through, and then them all trying to beat Super Buu over and over again.
Yeah,
and again,
ridiculous.
Just the end of the series when Goku leaves with Buu, I wish that had been done a lot differently. I really do. And one thing that does bother me about the series, it's a subtle thing, it's not a saga change. Semi-Perfect Cell looks so goofy.
I pointed that out in a video I made recently, but I agree.
Yeah, I would just change that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this next question has Thundershot written all over it.
Take the floor, my friend.
Would you want to see Vegeta be the star in the next movie? Now, I have avoided answering this question on my channel for a while because I report the news on it and I say, hey, Vegeta could be the next star of the movie, but I don't ever give what I actually think about that. It's doable. I just don't see how. Even with Goku having his God boost, if they decided to give Vegeta the God boost, is the only way Vegeta could ever catch up at this point. But even then, Goku would have to be off in BFE doing whatever, like completely irrelevant to saving the Earth, which is Goku's thing. So I don't know how they're going to write Goku away from this one. Or Goku would have to turn evil somehow magically that's completely impossible. And Vegeta would have to beat him, which I still don't think he can do because I still believe Goku's base form is stronger than Vegeta's base form, therefore making his God form stronger than Vegeta's God form. So I don't know. I don't doubt that they could do it and make it good. I just had no idea how they could do it. But I would be okay with it if it was done correctly. Anybody else have thoughts on this?
I can only see Vegeta being the star is if Goku was fighting a villain and he was in trouble and he needed extra help, and Vegeta supported him. That's what I can think of.
Kind of like Metacooler?
Yeah.
Or like kind of how he came to his aid in Fusion Reborn.
Or Broly. Well, not so much Broly, but yeah. Alright. I kind of see the last question we can aim for today, and it's actually a sports question. I want to add some diversity here. Goku's family, Goku, Adult Gohan, not Mr. Gohan, or Vegeta's family. Well, considering the fact... Oh, well, alright, let's put Tarbell into the consideration. The fact that Goku and Gohan are so much stronger than everybody else, those two basically overweigh all of Vegeta's family. Like, easily.
Yeah.
But let's go 1-to-1. Okay, Goku versus...
He says Adult Gohan, not Mystic.
Oh.
So Vegeta is stronger than Gohan at this point. I'm assuming we're talking Buu Saga, I guess, or whatever era they came from.
Let's do this really quickly, guys. Let's do like a quick 1 versus 1. Goku versus Vegeta. Goku wins. Adult Gohan versus Future Trunks.
Adult Gohan wins.
Yeah, Adult Gohan.
Adult Gohan wins. Alright, Kid Trunks versus Goten. Trunks wins. Bulma versus Chi-Chi.
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 King Vegeta versus Bardock.
Bardock.
Tarbell and Raditz. I don't know, Thundershot. I really don't know.
I think they said Tarbell and Raditz had really, really similar power levels. If not, Tarbell's power level was slightly higher, but Tarbell wasn't ruthless at all.
Tarbell, any day of the week.
This is actually a good question.
It is, yeah.
Was King Vegeta not a fighter at all?
I think he was.
I know Bardock went out and did the fighting thing, but I think King Vegeta having that elite Saiyan bloodline, I think he would... I mean, in the back of my mind, I want to say he'd be a good fight for Bardock. Unless he did that whole Prince Royalty, I send soldiers out for that, I don't ever fight thing.
No, he was a fighter for sure. Because I remember they were saying that, well, even though it's not completely canon, Vegeta was saying how, you know, his father conquered the Tuffle people, so he basically rose up as the leader. So yeah, he is. But
I would think with the elite bloodline, he at least would be a good fight for Bardock.
Yeah. But overall, I would say Bardock would win only because of that last Zenkai boost. But overall, it seems like Goku's family wins based on all the matchups. Alright, who's stronger, Super Saiyan God Goku or Vegeta Super Saiyan 2? If not Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan God Goku. This isn't even a question, it's Super Saiyan God. They would have fused if it was that important.
I just want to ask you guys this real quick. Do you think if they'd have fused into Gogeta and fought Beerus as a Super Saiyan, would it have done anything or no?
If they were both Super Saiyan, no. Now, the interesting thing that's been brought up, what everyone wanted to see for Battle of Gods 2 that I don't think they're going to do, is if they let Goku and Vegeta go God, and they both retained the God power like Goku's body did, if they fused then, would they be a good fight for Beerus? And to that, I would say yes. I would say they would probably easily defeat Beerus and be a very good matchup for Whis.
Yeah.
I keep saying Whis. I don't know why. You said it's Whis.
I've been saying it wrong. It's Whis. That's how they said it in the English dub. It is pronounced Whis, though.
Okay. Alright, James?
I gotta go with what he said on that one. I mean, it's just yeah, I think that if they did absorb the energy and they fought it, I think Gogeta would mop the floor with him. I think it would be because the fact that I know Whis only said Beerus used about 70% of his power, but if Goku and Vegeta are fused together with that kind of strength, and Gogeta gets Super Saiyan on top of that's more than what probably Beerus could handle.
To me, just the power of fusion, which I think me, Qaaman, and Blackenfist need to make a video on one day, but to me, just the power of fusion, the fact that I don't think Trunks and Goten could have been that much stronger than Frieza, and when they fuse together, they could be a Super Saiyan 3 fighting Buu. I think the fusion multiplier is just vastly enormous, like insane.
I've always put Trunks and Goten right around Android Saga Goku and Vegeta. That's where I've always put them.
Right before he got the heart virus?
Yeah, right before he got the heart virus, because you know how strong Vegeta was. I put them in about the same breath.
I could see that.
Well, to quickly add to what James said, even though it's not canon, the Son Goku and his friends return. They said that Abo and Kato are about the strength of Frieza, and they said Goten and Trunks was a perfect matchup for them, so that's kind of the proof there. Alright, let's see. Last two questions. James, take this one.
Let's see. When Captain Ginyu got hold of Goku via Full Nelson after Jay shoots an energy blast, could Goku get out of Full Nelson by himself? Kaioken times 2 would have done it no problem.
I honestly think I can do a video on this. What if Ginyu killed Goku? But could Goku have actually gotten out? I think maybe, but I mean, Ginyu had a really good chance to kill Goku. What do you think, Thundershot?
I think Goku had Ginyu's number. I think even if he hadn't gotten out and he still got hit by the blast, I think he still could have beat Ginyu.
But he's talking about when Ginyu grabbed him in the full Nelson and could have broken his neck. Why do you think Goku could have gotten out?
I think that comes down to if he was actually using Kaioken, because when he was using Kaioken to fight Frieza, we didn't see it until King Kai did the replay on his little magic orb or whatever. So if he was already using it, which is a total possibility because they were just hiding it from us at that point, then maybe not. That might, maybe Ginyu was almost as strong as Goku.
My opinion is I don't think he was using it because, remember, Goku's base when he arrives on Namek, if he wanted to use power levels, was 90,000 as maximum before Kaioken. Ginyu's maximum was 120,000. So, and Ginyu kind of had a pretty distinct edge before Goku powered up to the 180,000. So, I don't think he was using it, but a Kaioken times 2 would have been more than enough to get Goku out of the full Nelson.
I could see that.
So ultimately, we all agree that I think that Ginyu could have killed him, but we all agree that if Goku uses Kaioken in the right time, he could break out.
Yeah.
Alright, now, Thundershot, I want you to ask this final question because all three of us are all sports fans.
Okay, final question of the day. Here we go. Are you more of a football fan than you are of a basketball fan? I know you barely talk about football, but I'm just curious.
All of us, let's share our opinions.
Who wants to go first?
James?
I'm more of a football fan than a basketball fan. I mean, I've grown up Steeler Nation. I've grown up as a huge fan of them. Big fan of the Saints, too. Big fan of Penn State. So I'd say football more, definitely. But I do like basketball, too. So, yeah.
I mean, as proof that James likes basketball, he's made many videos about it. James and I are fluent in football and basketball. We talk about both sports every day. Like you would say, okay, I'll say for me personally, I'm a bigger basketball fan because I grew up on basketball, but James will tell you I know football just as much as anybody.
You're very spot on with your analysis.
And he knows basketball way better than he thinks he does. Thundershot?
I have always been, and I'm going to throw in a sport that he didn't mention, but I have always been, football was always my favorite sport to watch. Growing up, baseball was by far my favorite sport to ever play. And I watched baseball and basketball during their championship periods. I watched baseball during the World Series, and I watched basketball during the finals. Aside from that, it's not that I'm not well kept, because I usually have video games with them, so I know the characters and how good, they're not characters, people. These are real life people. I'm used to saying characters. But I know the people and how good they are and what teams are good. I can figure out a lot of that stuff, but I normally don't pay much attention to basketball games. And part of that has to do with the fact that the closest basketball team to where I grew up I grew up in Kansas, and the closest team we had was the Oklahoma City Thunder, so there was no hometown team for me to root for. But yeah, I am football.
Well, would you like to share who was your favorite basketball player in college?
In college, like when I was Mario Chalmers, when I was watching it back when he was in college, was my favorite player at the time. Yes.
All right. Well, we're all sports fans. We all know a lot about it, and James and I have a lot of sports topics coming up. I'm going to talk about football. I just need to find some gameplay footage of me, possibly playing Madden for the PC. I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. And we're going to do football and basketball all the time and diversify because I'm very fluent in both sports. As far as basketball, James and I have some topics that are coming up this week for you guys. Some may be related to his favorite team. And that basically concludes today's video. We've answered several questions here today. And we're going to sign out. Do you guys have any other things that you'd like to say before?
I'm good.
I want to thank everyone for watching today. I hope you enjoyed. I'm Thundershot, and as Qaaman always says.
Well, guys, since we're at that time, it's about time that I say my goodbyes. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say in every single video, to have a great day, guys.